right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Wes here. Today we've got some news to talk about for Hogwarts Legacy, including new details about a few of our professors at Hogwarts, one of them being our potions teacher, Professor Sharp. Now, with the reveal of Professor Sharp's character card, we got what looks like a pretty significant change in the character's design. The Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account posted a brand new image that looks absolutely magical, so we're going to talk about some of the hidden details with that image. Now, with Hogwarts Legacy getting even closer to the release date, the amount of skepticism and overall uncertainty I'm seeing from fans regarding how big the game will be is one of the biggest questions left on the table. Many are concerned about whether or not everything we've seen and have been promised is too good to be true or not. So I'll be going over how I think the developer and publisher have handled things with the marketing, especially considering the Hogwarts Legacy trailer is at over 30 million views on the PlayStation channel. I'm afraid we are past the point of hype that feels almost impossible to live up to the community's lofty expectations. And then finally, we're going to discuss the worst case scenario, another delay to Hogwarts Legacy. So be sure to stick around until the end because I don't think you're going to want to miss this one. Real quick, guys, if you want a chance to win a PlayStation 5 and a copy of Hogwarts Legacy or a game of your choice, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, comment your Twitter handle, follow me on Twitter, and tweet me proof that you're subscribed by tagging my Twitter at WesNemo. The winner will be announced at 80,000 subscribers, and I will not be reaching out via comments. One of my favorite parts about the wizarding world of Hogwarts Legacy is how they have been able to create unique characters that have me really excited to get to know during my time at Hogwarts. My favorite characters so far have been the Hogwarts professors. The incredibly diverse range of teachers seem to be the highlight of our time with Hogwarts Legacy. Now, in my last video, we detailed the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Professor Hecat, and just recently the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account has given us the backstory and new details for 3 more of our professors at Hogwarts, the Charms, Herbology, and Potion teachers. Starting things off, let's swish and flick our way to the Charms class with Professor Ronan. Abraham Ronan of Slytherin House, jovial and lighthearted with a perpetual twinkle in his eye, Professor Ronan considers his students' friendships and extracurricular activities to be just as important as the subject of Charms itself. In response to having been tutored by a rather austere father before and during his time at Hogwarts, he developed a passion for games in all forms, particularly gobstones. He allegedly met his wife during an especially lively gobstones tournament. To the delight of most of his students, his unorthodox teaching style often incorporates gameplay. With all of that being said, it's sounding like most of the fun and games we'll be having at Hogwarts will be in Ronan's Charms class, which is confirmed by the character reveal tweet. The post states, "You're in for a game or two during Professor Ronan's Charms class." He definitely seems like a fun professor to learn from, but what's most interesting is the fact that Ronan is somehow a Slytherin. Usually Slytherins have an almost opposite personality, and the community manager Chandler Wood chimed in to the reveal stating, "One of the most charming Slytherins ever, Professor Ronan will teach you a few important spells in some fun ways." So if we thought there wasn't going to be any mini games at Hogwarts, I think that just dispelled that. Next up, we have what I think is one of the most underrated classes at Hogwarts, and that is none other than Herbology. From mandrakes to venomous tentacula, learn from the best with Mirabelle Garlick. London-born Professor Garlick grew up in a household full of muggles and didn't really feel at home until she was a student at Hogwarts. In fact, she will tell you that it was the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry where she finally blossomed herself and discovered her extraordinary affinity for magical plants. Her sunny demeanor and flowery language charm colleagues and students alike, prompting some students to worry she may one day leave them for another greenhouse. But Mirabelle Garlick would never leave her students. So even if the right witch were to come along, she'd simply have to love Hogwarts as much as Mirabelle does. Well, I guess we finally found out what the Garlick name was. As much as I was hoping the community was right about her name being Helen Thistlewood, I think Professor Garlick is very well suited for her. Now, finally, we have what may be the most prolific professor during our time at Hogwarts. Get ready because Potion class is in session, and you don't want to be late to Professor Sharp's class. The gruff and keenly astute Professor Sharp enjoyed a lengthy, successful career as an Auror until an injury forced him to leave the field. Not wanting to push parchment around a desk at the Ministry, Sharp decided this time would be better spent sharing his extensive experience involving battle-worthy drafts and elixirs with the students at Hogwarts. Not easily impressed and wholly unwilling to suffer fools, he takes genuine pride in students who excel in his class despite his challenging curriculum. Before we talk about the most interesting aspect of this character reveal card, let's talk about the Chandler Wood quote tweet, which is kind of funny. He stated on Twitter, "Sharp may fill some familiar potions professor tropes, Slytherin, tough curriculum, long hair, last name starts with an S. He definitely has certain qualities all his own that bring a unique flavor flavor to his character. Overall, Professor Sharp looks great, but one thing I'd like to highlight is the fact that the character reveal card's model looks very different from the initial videos and image we've previously seen. I'm not sure if it's the angle that he's facing in the reveal card or the artwork that's being displayed, but it could be that the devs chose to change up how he looks throughout the development. Maybe the initial model that they created wasn't as representative of how they wanted Sharp to look. Either way, I think he looks great. Definitely feels a lot older and like he's been out of the game for quite a while. So I'm personally fine with the changes, but like I said, it could be the angle or even the artwork. We don't really know. Moving right along, we just got a brand new image posted recently by the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account. They said in the post, and I quote, "Merlin's Beard Hogwarts Legacy is nominated for most anticipated game at the Game Awards on December 8th. They attached an image of two students, one that is walking through the courtyard with a broomstick in their hand, and then we have another student that is casting a spell sitting on the fountain. Now, the biggest aspect of this picture doesn't really have anything to do with the students. Obviously, one is holding the broom and one's got a wand, which really isn't significant, but what is if you actually take a look at the background of the photo. If you actually look at the background of the photo, the structures look like they're the same tower seating from the Quidditch pitch, and this is clearly confirmed by this image from the initial stated play reveal. It's just kind of funny that they've got a character with a broomstick in their hand, and then they got the Quidditch pitch in the background. It's almost like they're trying to subtly hint at something, even though we know that's not the case. Obviously, Quidditch won't be playable in Hogwarts Legacy, but it is cool to see how much it'll be a part of the game world. Maybe we get to go to the Quidditch pitch to learn how to fly our broom, and honestly, as long as we get to go to the pitch and try to catch the snitch, I'll be perfectly happy. Honestly, they don't have to develop any part of Quidditch. All I want to see is a golden snitch flying around the Quidditch pitch, and if you catch it, then there's an achievement that pops up. Next up, I'd like to talk about a question that I've been asked almost a dozen times, and that is, how big will Hogwarts Legacy be? Is this game too good to be true, and will it ever live up to all of our hype and the expectations that we've set? First and foremost, if we take a look at everything we've seen thus far, I think one of the aspects that will be plentiful is the amount of exploration we'll be able to do. The game world doesn't have to be massive like Skyrim or The Witcher with multiple different regions, but this game feels big enough to get lost in. Maybe the Forbidden Forest is big enough to be a Skyrim level, but the reality is no one is really expecting it to be or really wanting it to be. We're all looking for a wizarding story to immerse ourselves in the world, and I truly think Avalanche has done just that. The details and Easter eggs will be a big component of my playtime personally. As long as they have a story that is long enough to have a strong beginning, middle, and end, that's all we can ask for. Whether that be 15 or 20 hours or even 25 plus hours, if the story is captivating and constantly throwing us unique things to do and explore, it doesn't need to be a 60-hour plus game. My guess is that a minimum playthrough will take about 20 to 25 hours, with the possible 30 to 45 hours to 100%. At least those are my current expectations, and I'm happy to change them if we get more information. But just don't go into Hogwarts Legacy thinking it will be some super long and groundbreaking game. That leads me to the next part of the question: is Hogwarts Legacy too good to be true? Now, with this being the first big title from Avalanche Software in years, I can't lie, my concerns are definitely real. Couple that with the fact that this is one of the biggest and most neglected IPs in gaming and just in multimedia in general, with a colossal wave of hype. I mean, the trailer has got 30 million plus views. So do I think what we've seen with Hogwarts Legacy is too good to be true? Maybe and maybe not. It really depends. If you go into things expecting to be able to explore Hogwarts, play as a student, and learn to be a wizard, I think the developers have nailed just that. But if you go in thinking this is going to be some fully immersive RPG with 40-hour plus story and a ton of replayability, different builds to do, and a Skyrim or Breath of the Wild level map, I think you're going to be severely disappointed. The developers and marketing team have only shared small details with the gameplay for a reason, and I think they've done a solid job at setting expectations and even telling us if an idea is too big to be in the game. I think where the expectations get a little bit crazy is when things are left intentionally vague and open up fan speculation and our imagination, especially if you look at the source material. So while I think most of the hype is going to be self-inflicted, I think giving a bit more details about what the gameplay is going to be like and the devs continue setting our expectations could help with that. I think it might be time to just give us a full level of the game that is completely raw and uncut. Obviously removing most of the main spoilers, but just giving us a semi-raw experience rather than just exploring the castle. Next up, one of the biggest concerns I still have with Hogwarts Legacy is the scenario where the game releases and it's plagued with bugs and glitches and performance problems. Hogwarts Legacy was delayed previously to allow more time to polish, but my concern is that even that is not enough time. With how ambitious this game seems to be, I really hope that if the game isn't in a state where the developers are happy, that the publisher will allow them to delay the game further until it's ready. I'd much rather have a fully optimized game and finished product rather than a rushed one that needs to be fixed after launch. It seems like every game that has the level of hype of Hogwarts Legacy and even Cyberpunk 2077, it ends up having some problem that hinders the success of the game. So I really hope this last delay avoided that situation, but I still fear that it didn't. Either way, I cannot wait to experience this game when it launches. If it's not done at launch, at least we get to explore Hogwarts and all the surrounding areas, because that's something that I've been wanting to do since I was a child. Let me know what aspect or feature you're most excited for with Hogwarts Legacy. Do you think this game will live up to the hype? Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on. And don't forget to take advantage of the PS5 giveaway at the start of the video. Thanks for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.